Welcome to another episode of Break the Limits podcast. Right, I'm Daryl. I'm the founder of Break the Limits. We help financial advisors to achieve, massive impact and income by breaking their limits. So that's the reason why we interview high achievers to understand their stories to inspire you to get your unique breakthrough. And in today's podcast, I'm with Shaun. Shaun Wong appeared in the previous podcast. If you have not watched that episode, please check it out. And I want to formally introduce him to you guys for those of you who are new to him. Shaun, he's an advisor from GE. AC Advisors Click, and he's advisor for 4 years now. In the past 3 years, he achieved 3 MDRT, IDA, and Gillette Awards.
Yeah.
And currently, he's a manager of 6 associates.
Yeah.
And I will invite him to introduce himself once more to you guys.
Yeah, my name is Shaun, right? I think he said quite adequately already, right? I post content as well, and I think I'm very excited to be here to speak to you today, Daryl, right? Because he pitched to me this idea that I'm the arbiter of truth, right? And that's what I stand for. I do a lot of no BS episodes, right? So today I'm very excited to really give an unbiased opinion, right, about what you do.
Beautiful. Yeah. So in this podcast, we'll be discussing a lot of concerns that most advisors will have, skepticism that they have, probably curious about the work that we do.
Yes.
And it's going to be a non-biased, unfiltered, really behind the scenes, right? No bullshit episode of like the work that we do at Break the Limits.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. I have not planned this. Pretty much, I do not know what kind of questions.
All raw.
Yeah, all raw.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of questions Shaun's going to ask me. But without further ado, let me share some backstory first, right? How and why I invite Shaun to this podcast actually. So prior to this, maybe about 2-3 years back, what happened was that I was just doing my usual Instagram posting on social media, posting about the content I teach. I was talking about comparison, like how advisors compare each other, demoralize themselves.
Yes.
One random comment appeared. It was from him. I do not know him. He's not a friend.
Yeah.
He actually commented something that challenges my concept and the methodology.
Yeah.
Instead of avoiding it like a typical hater, right? I just actually, out of curiosity, I replied to him, justifying like, it might not be absolute truth to everybody, but it kind of work for these people, right? And that kind of intrigued him. He actually DM me, direct message me on Instagram, say that, hey bro, I'm actually open to debate your methodology if you're free on a Zoom. And I'm glad I did it because during that session, he really no bullshit, just ask non-stop about what made me do this. Am I just another guru on the streets? And through that, I think that's where we have better understanding of each other. But today is going to be an extended version of that Zoom session. And I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, so I remember that as well. Okay, honestly, there are a lot of gurus, right, out there targeting financial advisors, right? I think there is a sort of like a stigma as well. It's like, oh, everybody's trying to make money off financial advisors, right? And I get quite protective also sometimes, because when I have my own associates now. So back then I was very new, right? I was very new. I just did my first year. I just did my first MDRT, and I was introduced to this world of coaches, right? So I suddenly find like coaches like start following me on Instagram, which I think is how we like you follow me, that I follow back, right? And I remember there was this post that you posted about comparison. Right, you're saying about how we shouldn't compare with others, right? And then I went in, I'm like, don't you think that some comparison is healthy?
Yes.
Because it allows us to hedge against how we're doing well, right? And I was just like, because I'm someone who likes to, debate, to seek truth. I just post and see what you say. Right? I was quite surprised that you actually responded and then you DM and we had an amazing conversation after that.
Yeah.
Right. Even though I didn't work with you after that, right? I think the work that you do, I really saw that there is some value in it. Right. So today I want to ask you some questions actually.
Go ahead.
Right. For all the people who are skeptics out there, I'm not here to promote Daryl's podcast or Daryl's like coaching system and stuff like that. Right. I'm here to help you make a better decision if you feel or didn't dare to ask the questions that I did dare to ask. All right.
Beautiful.
Okay. So first and foremost, I think the biggest question I had back then, right, was what makes you qualified to do this?
Beautiful. I remember I answered this question. I don't know whether I'm qualified or not. In fact, I myself, right, have a lot of insecurities because I come from a place of software sales. I was never in this place before, like financial advisory industry. The funny story was, I think I briefly shared with you previously how the origin story, if I can elaborate also so that the audience have better understanding.
Of course.
So when I was younger, I think 19 years old, that was where, even before 19 years old, I was living in a very comfortable place, condo, 3 cars, family was good, father was doing business. 19 years old, that's where everything collapsed. We had to downsize, sell everything to stay in a HDB rental flat. I was very, I would say, avoidant. Like whatever we spoke about in the previous episode, right, about escapism, I was embodying that. For 19 to 21 years old, I was just hiding in games, chasing girls and clubbing. Nothing good at it. No strengths. 21 years old, my dad came back at one night and caught me playing Dota 2. He screamed at my face, say, other than playing games, you're useless, son. I think that sparked something in my heart. I just screamed out, I just burst into tears and started crying, you see. After that, I start asking myself, if I'm good at picking up girls, maybe I'm good at sales. I've stumbled upon a software internship career as a sales intern. 2 months in, I scored myself a full-time job with them. 1 year in, top sales. But that's where I became the person you hate the most. No ethics. I started closing any Tom, Dick, Harry restaurants. We only work with Atas restaurants because we partner with Singapore Airlines. So that when you make payment with the airlines, make payment with this app, right, you can earn airline miles. I closed Little India restaurants, so not really classy. And I just said, for my commission, so what? That was how corrupted I was because I want to prove a point to people at 24. At 25, that's where I said that, hey, all this money, what's more than that? What's the meaning of life? Whatever you mentioned. And my mom said that meaning of life is 3 kids. So I got 2 other siblings. My father said meaning of life is clear debt. But what's my meaning? Nobody have the answers for me. I was so pissed off. I was not looking for truth. I was looking for answers to have clarity and acceptance in myself. That's where I was frustrated. If nobody have the answers for me, I want to give answers to people. I stumbled upon Gary Vee. He talked about self-awareness, your strength, your weaknesses, your unique purpose in life. If you have that, you will feel your own, you have your own closure. And I was like, holy shit, why not many more people or like students get to access all the information and knowledge? I want to do that for them. I take a pay cut. I quit my sales job. I went to a non-profit called Prexium. I teach kids purpose, passion, skill sets, not grades one. Then I was there for 3-6 months, very happy. But I asked myself, like that? My life is just like that, earning 3K salary, just like that, non-profit. I said, no, cannot. Some of that was COVID. And I said that, why not let me build my own school, teach kids, same thing, purpose. And I charged $60 per one client. I posted on social media, 4 people turn up. 3 of them are financial advisors. 1 of them is a student. Then they were learning about purpose, limiting beliefs, breaking fears, motivation. What drives them? And I'm like, holy shit, $60 times 4, $240. I bought myself a carousel whiteboard for $120. That was how I humbly started a business in 2020. And that's where I realized that, hey shit, this business for students, right, it will not be sustainable. But this skill set that I had to help people understand all of these things, breaking fears, can be applicable to other audience. I started moving towards student advisors, started pivoting, word of mouth spreaded. 80-90% of my clients, right, are financial advisors. And that's where I had a lot of fears at that point in time. You see, I say again, I'm not an advisor, but then I go for Tony Robbins' program. Tony Robbins' program, right, it is to break my own limiting beliefs, my own fears. He mentioned one thing. Most of us are scared, fear, because we're self-centered. We only focus on ourselves. One biggest belief that snapped me is what? Daryl, even if you are lousy, can you help? Even if you feel you're not good enough, can you serve? My answer, suddenly I say, yes, I can. I posted on Instagram very proudly, Daryl was a scam last time. I start declaring all the things I'm shameful about, right? Before someone can pinpoint you at me, I pinpoint myself first. I share everything about myself. And that's where people say, oh shit, this guy's transformation is something that I want to learn. They came. And that was how I overcome the idea that I don't have to be qualified, I just need to serve. And of course, if you are to answer your question today, under our belt, currently we have impacted more than 300-400 financial advisors throughout the last 4 years. We conduct webinars every Tuesdays to really value add, nothing to sell them. We have coached MDRTs, even COT, very rare, which I am very, very proudly and very confidently sharing this. We can transform people from no achievement to MDRTs. 1 or 2, maybe less than 5 are COTs. Okay, but that's my forte, right? People helping them get a first MDRT. So yeah, that's why today I will probably have more confidence in the work that I do. Yeah.
I think one thing you said was very powerful.
What was it?
Which is, even if you are not good, right, can you still help? Right? Because I think to relate to my own advisor experience, right, more or less I had to get that help from somewhere. And sometimes these people were not better than me in terms of sales or in what I do. But without them, I might not have achieved my achievements. Right? So I think the next question I want to ask you, which some advisors might have out there, is why you? Why cannot just my mentor in my agency?
Yes,
why cannot another system in my agency? Yeah.
Well said. So I think the truth behind this, right, is that if you are fortunate enough to have the 10% worth of, those kind of 10%, which is minority, right, of good mentorship, environment, directorship, right, 100% don't need me, right? But I think that our service exists today, right, because of the majority, 90% of advisors, right, who do not get kind of support that I'll be speaking about later. So many times, if let's say I give you the best scripts, the best product knowledge, right, but deep down inside you still have the fear of failure, the inertia. No matter what your mentor say to you, right, can't click in your head, right? Then probably we will be the best fit. And here's the reason why. Most often than not, right, for the majority environment, they give you instructions, which means that there's a standard format one. You call 5 people every day, you do this, you can get your success. Why don't call? Just do all. You get 10 appointments every week, confirm can MDRD. Just do law. So just do law, what does it mean, right? It means instructions. But on the flip side, right, we really strongly believe in the idea of personalization. Allow me to elaborate. Many times, probably some people will say that like, I am not motivated. I am lazy. They say themselves, not directors say them. But the truth is that what if they just do not know their own purpose, their own mission? What if they do not know their unique driving forces? What if it's because of their limiting beliefs they don't dare to dream? They say that I say this dream also cannot achieve. What's the point? And we personalize a unique solution to each and every one of them, which we have successfully done so for the last 3 years. So I think that's one thing that we really take pride in. Yeah. So as compared to we making bold claims that we teach you sales, we teach you personal brand, we teach you marketing. I don't do any of that. We teach you really just about internal mindset mastery and emotion mastery, which I have to go through the last 5 years of my life and business building.
So what would you say to an advisor out there who say, I already know my why. I already know what I'm driven, but I just not achieving the results.
Yes.
Yeah. So because maybe I just cannot.
Yeah, I hear you.
But they already have all these elements.
Beautiful.
What do you say to them?
So I last time, right, actually when the first 2 years of you meeting me, right, I wouldn't have a very clear framework to guide people to break through. Yeah. And if I may elaborate this framework to the audience listening to this, right, there's this inner game method that I created. Because I have this firm belief that your inner self is an extension, your business is an extension of your inner self.
Yes. Your
business cannot grow to the size of yourself. Means that if deep down you don't feel confident, your business confirm not confident run. 20, 30K FYC kind. Deep down you damn zai. You confirm COT, TOT kind. So that's why I created this concept called the inner game method. Inside this inner game method got 3 aspects. Allow me to elaborate. Number 1, self-awareness, which is what you're displaying today. I mean, in the previous episode, you look at the way Shaun expresses himself, very self-aware. He knows his strength, his weaknesses, his driving forces, what drives him. One of that I mentioned to him before is regret. Regret drives him a lot. So anyway, going back to this point, right? So under self-awareness, right, got 3 things: strength, weaknesses, and then what drives you, what motivates you. Under self-identity is your beliefs and your values, what you stand for, and what's your why. Because, and later I'll go into the nitty-gritty for the audience, okay, if you don't mind. Yes. And then number 3, right, is self-mastery. Yes. Self-evolution. Yeah. You evolve your fear, evolve all of these things. Number 2 is shadow self, mastering your shadow self. Yes. And number 3 is emotion mastery. Yes. In the past, I don't dare to even tell people that there's a method like that, no? Because not proven, ma. After 4 years, I painfully created this framework. And now allow me to flow. Let me share with you the nitty-gritty of everything.
Yes.
Under self-awareness, why strength is important? Because my father screamed at me. What the fuck are you good at? He said this. And I realized that, oh yeah, strengths really make me feel more confident or less confident. And under strengths, there's 3 things I always teach people. Number 1 is discovering it. Number 2 is mastering it. Number 3 is amplifying it. I give you an example. When I discover my strengths, I'm enthusiastic. When I speak passionate one, I can do one-to-one, I can do webinar, or I can do a podcast. I can post YouTube. So it's about amplifying, mastering, getting good at it. On the flip side of things, with your weakness, my mentor, which I paid $30,000 for to train me in terms of myself and my business building, he mentioned one thing about me, Daryl, your weakness is low perseverance. When times are tough, you quit very easily. I recall my father say the same shit about me. So if you give me if I'm in advisory, I'm an advisor now, no perseverance, got very good eloquence, way of speaking and sales skill set, likelihood I will not hit MDRT. I say difficult, I quit. So, but on the flip side, if I were to work on these, likelihood of me succeeding is higher also. And number 3, many times all of us have different life experiences. I coined this term driving forces because I think it's very interesting. All of us have different driving factors, and there are a long list of it, at least 8 of 9 of them. If you know your driving forces, for example, like mine is freedom, peace, last one is regret, and I know how to master them, I'll be always driven. On the flip side, if I do not know how to master them, I'll constantly be controlled by them. I'll be procrastinating. And these 3 things are the core pillar of what I teach. Second thing, beliefs. Just now you asked me, what if I got a strong why, but I just don't believe I can succeed? Then what is that belief that make you don't believe that you can succeed? Maybe it's that every time I try, confirm fail. My job, and it's also your responsibility, to destroy those things about yourself. You should find evidence, like what you mentioned, sample size in the previous episode. Your job is to create new beliefs, because these beliefs harming you. And number 5, values actually is the strings of beliefs. For example, you say that love is, I believe in love. I believe that humans are kind. I believe that everybody should be patient with one another. What you actually stand for maybe is love, peace, things like that. Strings of beliefs. And you consciously ask yourself, not what kind of values you have, is what are your actions showing you, what kind of values you have, not what you say you have. And very important in this career especially, why? You take a look, if you're not prospecting right now, what kind of value you value? You tell you value excellence. confirm you value safety and security, true?
Yeah.
Yeah, and our job is to destroy that and change a new value in yourself.
Yeah.
Hence, your life can be different.
Yeah.
And number 6, what's your why? Like what you mentioned. If your why is very strong, you know yourself, fantastic, very happy for you. But those of you who don't have a very clear why, come into this industry just to make money.
Yeah.
I promise you, once you hit your magic number, you'll stop.
Yes. Fully
Stagnate.
agree.
You will just chill.
Yeah.
Right? But if your why is like Shaun, which he shared in the previous episode, my why is to seek the ultimate truth. Right? That's damn powerful. It's endless why. And at Break the Limits, right, our job is to co-create it with our clients, guide them through, because I understand the feeling of being lost, helpless, don't have a very clear why. That sucks.
Yeah.
Number 7, I think this is something that only in the recent years I found out.
Yeah.
Self-evolution. Under self-evolution, got 3 relationships.
Yeah.
Relationship with fear.
Yes.
It affects you a lot. Relationship with discomfort affects you a lot. Last one, very important. Relationship uncertainty. These careers so uncertain.
Yes.
Many of them behave like employed, right? Or
Yes.
unemployed, right?
Yes.
Because they want to cling on to what? Safety.
Yeah.
If you can see those hired producers, COT, TOT, what's the relationship like? They constantly evolve, what?
Yeah.
Not scared of fear, not scared of discomfort, not scared of uncertainty. But on the flip side, if you're now stagnating, your relationship, these 3 things confirm never evolve yet. Number 8, shadow self. What's shadow self? Carl Jung created this. Probably you know as well. Super self, shadow self. When you're in your shame state, right? A lot of shame, guilt, remorse, regret. You start procrastinating. All your darkest, dirtiest side of you. Probably you start watching a lot of Netflix, chill, don't want to work. Don't even dare to tell people proudly your identity, your career path, occupation. How long are you there? That's the first thing you need to be aware of. How to get out of it, that's the second thing. How to prevent yourself from falling into it, that's the next thing. And down here, we highly encourage you to have all of this awareness because I myself been through that for the past few years of my life as well. And last part is emotion mastery. I think this is damn bloody underrated because every mentor coaches coach you on a skill set, how to handle rejection, but emotionally, did they guide you through that? Which is the fact that when you have emotion mastery, how would it look like? Let me share with you. You sit in after 7 rejections, back to back, you start telling yourself, maybe, fuck man, I'm the one that's not good enough for my clients, for my prospect. Nobody want to hang out with me. Maybe I'm not fit for this career. All of these limiting beliefs because you do not know how to deal with rejection. But a healthier way of processing rejection is what? I feel rejected, but it does not mean anything about me. It is what it is. It doesn't mean that I'm failure, doesn't mean I'm worthless, doesn't mean I'm a shitty advisor. I just feel rejected. Give yourself 30 minutes, process it. And that's how you can immediately have more emotional resilience to bounce back up, to continue what you need to do in the business. These 9 aspects, if you can master 1, I promise you are unstoppable. You master 9, you are definitely going to be a high performer producer. And that is why I have full conviction in the work that we do.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
I think since the first time I met you,
I don't have this.
Yeah, and today when I hear you say all this, I think the work that you're doing, right, is essentially rewiring the brain and the mindsets, creating new connections for people who are stuck. That's very powerful.
Thank you. By the way, it's damn hard for Shaun to say such things.
Yeah.
Because last time he challenged me, what's the method?
Yeah.
Because of him, I keep creating frameworks. What's the framework? I'm not a framework guy. I'll be honest. I admit.
Yeah.
But because of the fact that there are people like that, right, want to find the absolute truth.
Yeah.
I have clients challenging me as well. What's the systematic way of getting there?
Yeah.
I challenged myself last 4 years now to create something like that that's tangible.
Okay. That's amazing. Yeah. And I feel if you're really able to do this for new advisors, that is great work, man.
Yeah, so I want to chime in as well.
Yeah.
I think it's not just about new advisors because of the years of experience they have, but rather you confirm see colleagues or maybe other advisors 5 years in still having roadblocks like that.
Okay.
Because like what you mentioned, they did not address it at the start.
Yes.
Right, and they drag it out, end up they suffering.
I agree.
Yes.
Okay, then I have a question right now.
Ask,
right?
go ahead, bro.
So let's say if I'm like the kind of advisor that you mentioned, so probably don't have much money, right? So then how, like, for someone who's not even like made a lot of money in this business, right? They probably need to pay to engage your services, right? So how like they might not want to, it might be costly for them.
Sure.
Yeah. So
what should I say to them? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have seen so many different prospects of financial advisors, right, who say the same thing to us as well.
Yeah.
I don't want to invest.
Yeah.
I don't got no money.
Yeah.
But if you look at it from non-biased one, they're the honest, no bullshit kind of reply from me, okay? If you look at it, that itself says a lot about their mentality. The fact that like they just give it as it is. It's an excuse, not execution kind of approach. Back then when I paid my $30,000, I had only 12K in my bank. So context, guys, I had to start somewhere. I need to build my coaching business from something. I had no money. I also go and find a coach. And working with them, 30,000 a year. I wait them 2 years. I did not have money. But in my brain is like, if I don't do this, I cannot progress. If I have to do this, I find a way to progress. I took a credit card debt swipe every single quarter. I need to pay 7.5K. Because like yourself, My heart says that I need to do this. I want to do this. There's no way I'll go back to earning money emptily. I just did it. So if you really look at, let's just use a random ballpark figure lah. Let's just say 4K, 5K. You really look at 4K, 5K, actually not a huge amount of money,
Yeah.
For the kind of value you do as an advisor, you do for your client, right? Your probably average case size commission earn 2K, 3K. Or maybe, let's say conservatively 1.5K. 3 clients for a 1 year coaching. Do the quick equation. If these 3 clients can pay for 1 year coaching, which can make you another 6, 7 clients, positive ROI, why not doing it? Because I tell you the real reason. Many a times, people with the wrong mindset, advisors with the wrong mindset, they seek certainty in the cash at bank.
Yes.
They don't see certainty in the skill set and mindset.
Yes.
That is the curse.
Yes.
Yeah.
So is that how much you charge now for 5K for 1 year coaching?
So we have a range, a wide range. Again, be transparent. Okay, we have a right range, and we have also different services targeted at different levels of advisors.
Yeah.
So for a start, right, if genuinely, okay, if you don't have any budget, we have also the online program. Okay, ranging from maybe start from maybe 3K all the way up to 35K, where we serve leaders, directors, managers, how to drive their guys.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a wide range.
Okay.
And yeah, so the thing about us, no bullshit as well. We actually do interview people before we accept them, and here's why. Previously, I accept everyone because we were hungry. We just had to struggle to get by this business, and it was painful for me. I invested 1 year time frame coaching them to realize that actually they're the wrong fit for me. Number one, probably there are some people like what you mentioned, unethical. Number two, these people don't even want to make like themselves top 1, top 5 in the business. They just want to get by. I'm running a business whereby these people are my billboard, walking billboard. So can you imagine if the brands produce such non-producer or lazy people, it affects me. Tarnish my brand. That's where I become very wary of the people we accept. Hence, there's an interview process that we have to do. Yeah, so this is how it works lah. I say that coaching is like a dating process, 2-way street. You like me, I don't like you, hard to coach you. I need to coach you 1 year some more. And here's why it's 1 year. Maybe you will ask also, right? Because many times, the average client that we accept now, right, is about 30 plus years old. I'm surprised. I'm 28 this year. Older than me. Willing to be humble, learn from me. Interestingly enough, right, there are 33 years of limiting beliefs. I am not a guru in 3 days I can change your life. I cannot do a 3-day masterclass like that change you. I also cannot say 3 months confirm transform your life. Cannot, no. Based on my humble 4 years experience, right, 1 year is the lasting change that they want to see. Hence, this is the most conservative time frame, right, for them to see permanent transformation.
So for advisors who want to sign up, let's say not the online one, what can they expect in terms of like a commitment or frequency of coaching or stuff like that?
Well, actually, you ask good questions. Okay. So how it works, right, is that we have a wide variety, right, of services and deliverables. Let me just retrace my memory lane and share with you the entire the process. Number one, we actually have this online program and online modules, right? It's called Ignite Your Personal Power. Because many times these people are powerless. They feel shame more than pride. Hence, don't dare tell people proudly that, hey, this is my career. So in this program, the 9 aspects that I talked to you about, the online modules actually guide you through to discover your 9 elements, the 9 aspects. Number 2, we have another program called a Fearless Advisor. Every kind of case study breakdown, common problems, like for example, I don't dare to reach out to outward referral parents. I do not dare to speak to C-suite CEOs, CMOs, because who am I? I'm just 20 plus years old. We actually have case studies with different advisors walking you through how do I break their limiting beliefs about it. 100 plus videos recorded already. So there's 2 online modules, online programs like that. Number 3, what you can expect working with us is that you will see yourself being added in a very exclusive community. All of them actually sign an agreement, whatever transformation I experience, right, my duty and obligation is to pass that transformation to someone else. Because I said it's exclusive community. These people here are all practice abundance. And number 4, you will be getting a dedicated customer support specialist. This person actually keep track of your prospecting efforts, your limiting beliefs, your journey with us. If you're not coming for coaching, they will personally reach out to you and see what other support can we provide you, what modules you need right now at your current juncture. So we can extract from the online modules and send it to you. Right? Encourage you to come back. If you need support, we will tell the coaches for you. That's what my customer support team has to do. And next, we also have weekly coachings. 52 weeks with us, you will get minimally 2 times a week coaching with us. Minimally 1 time, maximum 2 times a week with us. If you go and count, it's about 104 sessions with us. Hybrid between online, offline. Okay? And online, offline is a very interesting match because online, you will see a lot of questions being asked by people, very vulnerable, very transparent space. For example, they say that, my mentor, right, pressure me because I'm peace-driven. They'll say, I'm peace-driven. I don't like it when people put me KPI, make me feel stressed. How do I do about it, Daryl? They ask such questions. Then I'm like, okay, cool. Because you're peace-driven, right, you don't thrive in long-term stress. You thrive under short-term pressure. And your job, this is a self-imposed pressure. Cannot be people pressure on you one. It must be I want to, not I have to. Something like that. I will share with them. Then they go, oh shit, like, but I will communicate this awareness to my manager so that my manager know how to manage me better. So powerful. And this kind of community must be safe. Then they can share such vulnerability. And for the physical one, right, it's very interesting because when I see them pick up phone and call, right, not call those people they're comfortable calling.
Yeah.
It's people that they feel awkward calling.
Yeah.
Acquaintances not close to. I see them shaking. And they don't even know why they're shaking.
Yeah.
I say, hey, pause. Put down the phone. You feeling what feeling now? I don't know. You're feeling anxious. You feel confused also. Do you feel that? Then I say, yeah, maybe I feel a bit awkward. I say, let's process these feelings first before you call again. I think many a times mentors will tell you the scripts. Hey, use this script and call.
Yes.
But they don't go and dissect down what emotional state you're in when you call.
Yes.
Some people call out of desperation.
Yes.
Different state affects the outcome also.
Yes.
So I think that's why we do this hybrid.
Yeah.
Beyond that, right, we also provide them with a breakthrough event. This is something I take pride in. Like I bring our guys for bungee jumping. I'll host a session, speaking sessions, whereby not because they got FYC financial breakthroughs, but any internal breakthrough transformation, I'll give them a microphone share in front of 40, 60, 70 advisors.
Yeah.
So that they step into the identity that I'm also I also an achiever. I transform too. Beyond that, we also 2 weeks ago, I bring them go Dhoby God. In 3 hours, they have to raise $20 to at least $100+. This is called the resourcefulness challenge. To embrace uncertainty, fear of judgment, fear of discomfort.
Yes.
So all of these abstract ideas is what we do for them. Then another one, bold claim. We do unlimited rapid fire call with our coaches. So what do I mean by that? As and when they need us, right? This one a bit hardcore, but at 1 a.m, bro, when clients need me, text me. I'm not sleeping. I'm not doing calls, right? I'll pick up. And I genuinely will serve them, help them in 5-10 minutes, get their problem solved. And we move back, go in again. And I don't do biasness, unfairness, just anyone reach out to help. For, not just me, but our coaches, we serve. And apart from that, what else do we include? Pretty much these the services that we include in the most popular package.
Yeah, oh man, that's I feel like I have so much I can learn from you, bro.
Serious.
Yeah, no bullshit. Because like I think the in terms of leadership, managing people of different kinds, I can manage myself, right? but managing other people, I think you have a wealth of knowledge to tap.
I'm humbled.
Correct. Yeah, you were sharing just now about how like
the peace-driven one.
No, the calling one. Because I've seen that before, but I don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Right. My response is to like maybe calm the person down, assure the person. But I don't know if maybe you because you've dealt with so many of these, you're very self-aware, very fast able to pinpoint the problem.
Yes.
And what is the appropriate response.
Solution and response to that.
Correct. And I think that's from all your experience in coaching and
you're right.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I don't claim that I know it all.
Yeah.
The best part about me when I tell my clients, right, is that Daryl is not the smartest coach, but Daryl is the coach that has the greatest heart for you.
Yes.
I don't know the answer. I'll ask people like Shaun. Hey, tell me how you do it. Then I'll give back to my guys. That's why for me, I very humbly reach out to as many directors, managers, learn from them. Yeah. And the last 4 years, seriously, after this guy challenged me, I was humbled, grounded. And I really went to go and challenge myself.
Okay.
A lot of things that I thought I know, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that helped.
Okay. I'm very happy for you, man.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah. So I got one more question, I guess. I as I sit here and I talk to you, right? I can see that you're really trying to do good work, right? But one thing I don't like, and it's always the stigma thing, right, is that there will still be people out there who will doubt you. They see your ads on Instagram, they're like, who is this guy, right? So maybe to all these people, right, who are still just living off the stigma and not doing anything about it, what is one thing you can do, or one thing you think they can do to take a step further?
I think the one thing that I encourage everybody to do, right, is challenge me, like how you challenge me, like genuinely.
Okay.
I am someone, right, who sincerely say this. In the past, I care a lot about me.
Yes.
My pride.
Yeah.
Don't insult me. I'm a good coach, not a bad coach.
Yeah.
People don't come for coaching, I feel sad.
Yeah.
Means that I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
Now today, to be honest, the mission that I'm fighting for is to create a world without fear. I want to create, and if you go and stamp it deeper, I'm going to go in really deep now here, see. If I'm going to stamp it really deeper, right, it's because when I was younger, my father used a lot of violence on me, chase after business money on the disguised that is for the family. But deep down, I don't feel love at home. And then that's why I go out there, society, to earn money to prove to him that, hey, I'm better than you now.
Yes.
Love me.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel that a lot of insecurities from within stem from parenting, my childhood.
Yeah.
Break the limits that I'm building right to now today. It is not the end all be all for me. I eventually want to accumulate a lot of database. Why all these people have fear of failure, fear of judgment, rejection. All of these stem from where? I want to have all of the answers, the information put into a database so that next time I can tell parents. So that parents don't have to repeat this mistake.
Yes.
Then these kids will not have fear.
Yeah.
Then a world without fear will exist.
Yeah.
All of these people genuinely can be themselves, be you, be me, authenticity.
Yeah.
That's what I'm truly guarding for.
Yeah.
People who are skeptical, genuinely, what I want to share with you is that this business is not the end all be all for me. Ultimately, the end all be all for me is to help as many people to transform their life, a world without fear.
Yeah.
So if you want, experience it for yourself. Don't miss it, really. We are very selective on people that we accept as well.
Yeah.
So out of, in fact, I can just share some statistics with you. Every single month, we probably only a handful of people we accept. And people actually do apply more than we accept.
Yeah.
We feel a bit of pity as well. That's why we actually send them to other partners that we work with. Ultimately, this is not just for profit kind of thing. We actually do donate trees. Every new clients that join us, we actually donate and plant 25 trees. On a personal accord, myself, I do sponsor kids. Me and our community of advisors, right? We actually sponsor kids in Indonesia, Cambodia.
Yeah.
So ultimately, I believe in the idea of impact more than income.
Yeah. Well, that's very powerful, man. And I can see for all those people out there, it's like, I always know when someone is passionate about a subject. We can see when they talk about it, the tone change, the eyes light up, like the knife from the floor come out, like Magneto at it.
Okay.
So I actually got one question to ask you. If you're so good, right, why don't be advisor?
Okay, so I get this question very often from directors, managers, leaders, right? And the truth to be told, it's not that I don't want to join this advisory industry, right? But rather it's more of like I'm very self-aware. I understand that my driving force, right, is freedom.
Yes.
And number 2 is peace. And number 3 is a regret. And at the same time, my why, right, trace back to many, many years ago. I think I told you so, is to be a stay-home dad by 35 years old. I'm 28 this year. If you piece all of this information about myself, right, and you understand why I made this decision. My why is, number 1, to be a stay-home dad by 35. Number 2, right, I want to build a parenting school, a world without fear. And at the same time, I'm very freedom-driven. I hate red tapes. For example, MAS lah, directorship lah, compliance lah, all these kind of things. Even like I want to bring my guys to Dhoby Ghaut to do random things like asking them to raise funds, $20 to $100+. I don't have any rules to follow. I genuinely think that this is good for them. I do. Bring them to bungee jumping. I just do. Right? So I thrive under autonomy and liberty to do whatever I believe, even though it's unorthodox methods that can help my guys transform. I do that. And number 2, I ask myself very honestly, Daryl, are you passionate about financial instruments, investing? Honestly, my life story is typical for a financial advisor, and I also believe in the importance of it. But how come I never tilt towards it, even though lucrative, very lucrative business? But it's because I understand that, for me, what means the most to me, right, is really spending majority of my time mastering how human beings thinks. What makes them move the way they moved? Why they do what they do? As compared to spending 80% of my time understanding financial instruments, 20% time leading. I want 100% of the time is on dedicated in this. And that's where I thrive. I'm genuinely don't feel work is work. I feel like I enjoy my life. Like really when I interview directors and talk to directors like yourself also, I a lot of answers, a lot of questions that I have, that's stored inside here. I am living the true passion or purpose that you might say. Yeah, I think that's the reason why I don't join, even though money-wise, very lucrative. A lot of directors did ask me to join them as well.
So I got a personal question, and you meet so many financial advisors, right? Who's your financial advisor?
Good question. So my financial advisor is one of our clients.
Okay.
Here's an interesting story.
Okay.
2 years ago, she joined me, and her greatest fear is that she got, number 1, a shaky conviction. Number 2, fear of rejection. And out of so many clients that I coach, right, she was the only one. And say, hey coach, by any chance, can I review your portfolio? Mark my heart, because she don't walk, she talk. She don't just talk, she walk the talk. And then I'm like, cool, let's do it. At that point of time, I really thought that I was fully covered. She highlighted to me that, got critical illness, all these blind spots. Then I'm like, cool, you know what, let's do it. I think that was one memorable story that I always can remember. How she take a leap of faith in me and my coaching first. And then she also took a leap of faith to ask me to do these services.
Amazing. So, Daryl, right, today, if you were to reach out to people who is your direct target audience, who exactly do you think will best benefit from your Break the Limits?
Right, okay. So I think that there's a different kind of audience, if I can segment them. Number 1, right, will be advisors who have yet to hit their MDRT, right? And they are hovering around the 30-40K FYC around their average, but they want to get a breakthrough finally, right? So these people probably internally, their challenges, right, is like what you mentioned, shame in career. Fear of rejection, fear of judgment, keep going to cold market, cold leads, don't dare to go back to the warm market. constantly hovering around existing clients, milk them dry, maximum already, cannot already. And then apart from that, they also procrastinate, constantly just living day by day. I think this audience, but deep down inside them, right, they really feel that they're meant for greatness.
Yeah.
They are sick and tired of mediocrity. They're really in pain. They want to solve it once and for all. The underdog spirit in them. I want to work with these kind of people. Number two, another kind of audience, right, is people who used to have high moments. Achieve already, MDRT, even COT. Suddenly dropped. Wow, then deep down, they've been there procrastinating, stagnating for quite a while. They want to rise back up again. Another underdog spirit. I love working underdogs. So this kind of audience thrive. Why? Because usually I like to work with them and thrive. Why? Because usually, right, they have the ingredients to succeed. No, they got the skills, the knowledge, product knowledge. It's just that internally they cannot find out what drives them, because driving forces changes. Your why changes, but they did not recalibrate themselves. And I think that's something that I can do really, really well, to recalibrate internally, logically, mentally, and emotionally, to steer them to the right direction.
So let's say I'm at MDRT 3 years now, right? I want a COT, right?
Yes.
You can help me or not?
So I want to ask this question instead, right? Let's just try.
Yeah.
Okay. What would you say it will be the biggest limiting block, right? Or biggest obstacle right now, right? That's holding you back from COT actually.
I would say it's a leads issue.
Okay, leads issue.
Yeah.
And why would you say that?
Because I do mainly warm market, right? And the sort of long-term sustainability of a warm market comes from referrals.
Sure.
Right? And so currently the referrals is not strong enough to get me to COT. Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah.
So you see, when it comes to doing business, right, there's three things that I always tell my clients, right?
Yeah.
Number one, do you have the courage to serve? No? Sorry, do you have the courage to call? So for you, no issue.
No problem.
No problem.
Yeah.
Number two, courage to meet them face to face, talk about
no
business
problem.
one, not talking chit chat. Number three, courage to serve. No, means on the spot, genuinely ask them what's right to do, do. If you have these three things, no problem, right? Then genuinely you can proceed through.
Yeah.
But then the context change as well.
Yeah.
Because let's say, for example, you are talking to kopitiam uncle auntie.
Yes.
No problem. Everybody can do.
Yeah.
You talk about the mass market.
Yeah.
Most people can do. Then suddenly you talk about high affluent.
Yeah.
Mega affluent.
Yeah.
Or suddenly everything, the step repeats again.
Yeah.
Same 3 steps, but now the context is different.
Yes.
Suddenly now, for example, I'm a new kid, 28-year-old, speaking to an affluent guy. Doing that to pick up the phone and call them.
Yeah.
So I think that itself is also a limiting belief that most people from MDRT and going to COT should smash also.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yes, I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think that same process, example right now, like probably if number one, do you expand your network to speak to people who are high affluent? That not necessarily have to serve a lot of people, but more of like narrowing the kind of audience that you really want to niche into. And then ask yourself, do I have the value that I can give them? What kind of value can I give them? It requires you to destroy the things that got you to MDRT, no? Reprogram and rebuild yourself to a COT level, no? I think that's what helped us to produce the 2 COTs. Yeah, one is Melissa, then the other one is Edmund. So Melissa's almost COT, right? Yeah, but my point
From
here,
Advisors Click.
yes, correct.
Melissa works with you.
Yes, correct.
Oh, wow.
Almost COT, right? But that's besides the point. I mean, at the end of the day, you need to really understand that when we chase after the next achievement, it's really about destroying ourselves and rebuilding the next version.
Yeah.
What got us here cannot get us there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I am actually looking forward to. Gathering more MDRTs and rebuilding them to COTs. Yeah, I won't claim that I know it all, but I think that that's what I mentioned just now.
Yeah.
Context changes each time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if I'm a leader, right, and I have associates that I cannot break through.
Yes.
Right. How can you help me?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I want to say that, like, in terms of that question that you asked me, right, the context differentiates from each advisor.
Yeah, definitely.
Personalization matters.
Yeah.
So if let's say the 9 elements, right, most common one, right, is number 3, driving forces. They don't know what drives them. So managers just say that maybe hard to motivate them. I can drive myself, but I cannot drive my guy. But the thing is that the driving forces of your manager maybe varies as compared to the guys.
Yes.
So that's why what works for you cannot work for them.
Yeah.
What I can do, number 1, identify your guys, all of your guys.
Yeah.
Top 3 driving forces.
Okay.
Number 2, have a very clear roadmap. What works for them, how to drive them, how to motivate, manage them, and also help them to know how to motivate and manage themselves.
Yeah.
And then number 3, I think that besides using driving forces, right, is also having a very clear why for them. Because many times, right, is that the moment they reach a false goal, I reach already lah, stagnate already, go back to the comfort and complacency. So when you can co-create a very strong why with them, for them, that's where the fire comes from within, not from external sources only. I think that's the first 2 things that we do with, we help directors to drive the guys lah.
All right, so thank you so much, Daryl. I think just sitting here talking to you over this podcast, I can see how much you've grown over the past 4 years. No, honestly, and I don't say this lightly. I'm a no BS guy. Yeah, and I really believe that you have onto something, right? You're onto something that works. You're onto something that is creating results, right? And I'm very, very excited to see how you can grow this, not just to help people MDRT, but how to from MDRT go COT or
and
even TOT.
I'm also
right?
excited.
And also how you're gonna help leaders, right? To create advisors.
team.
Yeah, correct. Powerful team.
In fact, this means a lot from Shaun because
Yeah.
he's someone who stands for absolute truth.
Yeah.
In fact, I was, to be honest to the audience, right, I was a bit worried, no? A bit nervous. No? What kind of question will you ask me, to be honest?
Yeah.
I don't claim to know it all. I always say, I don't claim that I'm here to make $1 million from this business.
Yeah.
But I claim one thing, that like this is what the industry needs, is a missing piece.
Yes.
And I'm here to give more mindset mastery and emotional mastery, not just me,
Yeah.
but my team of coaches.
Yeah.
And we're here not for the short while, but for the long while.
And I agree completely. And I really see the need, now that I'm leading a team. Something I wanted to share, but I haven't been sharing actually. So somebody just, I think like last week or 2 weeks ago, DM me, not DM me, I saw him post on his close friends list, one of the ads that you had. Right, and said something like why still don't understand why these people are like doing this kind of thing or like preying on financial advisors kind of stuff. So if there are any haters out there, right, like I implore you to really just challenge Daryl, right, instead of like posting stuff, right, really just take a step to sit and speak to him like I am doing down here, right, and just by this 45 or like this short session, I'm able to learn so much from him and see how much it's grown, and I'm very, very happy to have this session, and I'm right now I'm really thinking like what are ways that you can help my associates.
Beautiful. Yeah. I'm more than happy to help you and help your entire team succeed, bro.
All right, steady.
Thank you so much for your time.
Right, thank you, Daryl. Yeah.